Well, I was thinking of S1191f6 above, and it occurs to me, you know, the Buddhist doesn't refer to yoga because, of course, the word yoga means union with God. And the Western person feels, oh, yes, I do yoga. And at the same time may be firmly believing, and of course I don't believe in God. Well, the whole point of yoga is its union with God. The asanas and postures, exercises as you call them, that you call yoga, are to give you union with God. Certainly the physical stuff helps your health. But that's not the purpose, it's not the goal, and it's not the only consequence. It's like the triangular breathing. It looks pretty physical, but it has spiritual consequences. You know, making someone a meal is very physical. Well, the meal is. The making is an action, but you know what I mean? They're having the meal is quite something before them, and a pleasure and a relief, perhaps, and whatever. It has great non-physical consequences of feeling loved and cared for and refreshed and revitalized and perhaps more hopeful and so on, more trusting, etc. Hopefully more loving of God. It's like when I say, you know, in the referred to recording, listening to recordings of The Chosen brought tears to my eyes. I don't mean tears of grief and sadness, of course. I mean a love of God, an appreciation of goodness, overwhelming sense of value. Can't describe it, can I? But an emotional thing. It has physical consequences. Got tears in my eyes. It's like when you smile at someone. It's a physical appearance, but it tells of some non-physical reality, namely how you're feeling towards the person. Assuming you're genuine, of course, in your smile, and you want to care for them, and you're pleased to see them, and you want them to be happy, and your smile says so. How lovely. Bless you. So don't hold the physical in contempt. That would be completely wrong, just because it's transitory. I mean, it was transitory being born, but I don't hold being born in contempt. Well, some people do. I think Buddhists do at times. In fact, even the Hindu religion says the certainty of ill in birth, illness, aging, and death. That's not my view. I trust my God. If He's allowing me to be born, even suffer some illnesses, and age, and die, it's because they are all pure blessing. Get out of my way, that's how I'm going to view it. And I find viewing it as such, well, I'm flying. You could say, oh, you're bipolar, Marshall. Okay, but it's like my friend. I only get the highs. Sometimes I'm just a bit flat and I think, hey, and I know the way out. As I say, might be through doing the triangular breathing, might be doing some yoga exercises, might be taking a walk by the lake, it might be listening to my recordings, of course. That's usually my way. Might be reading scripture, or even reading Paramahansa's autobiography of a yogi, or Bhagavad Gita. Staggering scripture, that is, I can tell you. As Gandhi says, he felt it had the solution to every spiritual problem. A personally think the Gospel of John goes a bit further than that, but I don't want to worship it. But simply good company can rescue you, can't it? Good media, good company. Just as bad company and bad media can wreck things. Choose you this day whom you will serve. Why? Well, because you want life eternal. You want to be blessed. You want the joy of knowing God, your God, and loving Him with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And fountains of living water will just well up within you. Yeah. Can't explain it, but you'll just shine with the glory of God, His presence, His loveliness, His goodness, His loving kindness. Love you, Dad. Thank you, Dad.
Well, let me add a note. This is a little while later, a good while later, a good few days. No, actually, I did it yesterday, didn't I? Now, look, if you find you listen to a recording and think, well, not quite sure where that's got me, if it's a benefit, you may have missed it, just listen to it again, especially if it's a short one. You can do that, can't you? I mean, this one was only 6 minutes long. And I listened to it today. I actually wrote it yesterday. Dictated it yesterday. And I thought, it's a bit energetic and brief and exhausting. Where's it going? So I listened to it again. And it made more sense, much more sense. You know, I used to find that with teaching first year economics at University 101. When you taught it for a couple of years running, you started to realise the incredible depth in just the basic introductory courses. And it was extremely creative as regards my thinking and research in my specialism, my subject, economics. There's a tendency to think, I've read this, or I've listened to this, or a lecture, been there, done that. But for instance, I can remember taking a chap's course on inequality. He was a very good lecturer, and one of the brighties in the, the up and coming greats of tomorrow. And I then said a year or two later on the PhD program, I'd like to do your course again. I'm afraid I haven't changed it. He may have tweaked it and updated it a little bit, but it was basically the same. It's using the same notes, which he handed out, But that was fine. I got far more out of it second time. One assumes, well, I've heard it, so, okay, I've done that. I wonder what I can do that's no better. But so often it's not. It's like our experience with Scripture. The more you do it, the better it is. The more you, in my case, read John 17, the more I see in it. Far more. It opens doors I wouldn't have dreamt of. Do you see? So, if you assume, well, normally this is a benefit to me, I don't quite follow what this one was about, it can be very instructive just to listen to it again. Yes. So if I could say from this little recording, well, what is one to get from it? That so often it's lingering on something, not charging on to consume the next. until something hits you as, oh yes, that's relevant, thank goodness I got to that. Do you see there's a peace of mind and attitude which is different to that careering into the future. It's rather saying, ah, in a sense, what's the beauty of this that I'm with now? I'm in the garden. I don't need to walk into the other gardens. We've got a lovely park in Hamilton, New Zealand. It's made up of, or at least a large part of it's made up of, dozens of distinctly unique gardens representing each culture and that round the world. You know, old-fashioned English and Chinese and Japanese and American, and now you can do a sort of a Japanese whistle-stop bus tour and dash into every garden, take a photograph, shoot onto the next one, and the other one might be interesting, and there, oh, there's a new one over there, and you get absolutely nowhere. Whereas if you just look at where you are, which might be sitting in the cafe having a cup of tea, if you drink tea, you know, and you're just looking at the lake, and there's a little sparrow next to you who wants you to drop a crumb, so you do. So he's got something to eat. And it's a beautiful day. I actually don't need to find other gardens. I'm finding the loveliness of God and creation where I am, and that gratitude is transforming me, and the company I'm with, and our conversation. And life is beautiful. It's not running the race. It's not crowding in experience. It's appreciating, I don't know, the goodness of the presence of God. Wholesome life is wholesome meditation, not some artificial practice, but a loving presence of the sheer goodness of our God. Bless you. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.